And how is it going, everyone? Welcome to Ridge Racer 6, the exclusive Ridge Racer on the Xbox 360. For some reason releasing 1 year before the PlayStation 3 one, but it's fine. It's something that I never understood why they decided to do that, but it's fine. Yes, I want to save new data on my totally legit Xbox 360 console. Now, before I start, there is something about the controller that I need to change. The default configuration is this one, even though the one that happens in all Ridge Racer games is this one, which in fact it says A is the first one, but for some reason the other one is default. Oh yeah, and vibration. No, this shit, turn it off. We don't want any vibration. Alright. Now, the... okay, yeah, autosave, sure. The main mode of this game is the World Explorer. As you can see with the ads, you will see that it's a lot.
Welcome to the new Ridge universe that spreads across the horizons of X. Your mission,
Yes,
explore
this is
and
an
discover
Xbox
the many
game.
prizes
Correct.
hidden throughout the Ridge universe. In the Ridge universe, races are spread along routes. Races become more difficult as you go up, and machine classes are higher as you go right. The various race icons represent the rule set for each race. Choose the route to play by selecting the races that form the route. After selecting each race, you will be shown the races that can be selected next. New machines and prizes are unlocked upon completing all routes that surround an area. Welcome to the new
Yeah,
Ridge
that's
universe.
important to know. The way this mode works is for some reason with routes, and when you circle every event like that, you get a reward. It's a little bit weird because I don't... Wait, what does it say? Yeah, that's the weird... Well, it says that you unlock more rewards at once if you do it like multiple races in one go, so... I guess that's that. So here, for example, you will want to do, I don't know, something like this. You know, like try to get as many races as you can on a single route. The difference is that if you reach one of these yellow spaces, you can, like, this will be the final race, because you cannot, well, this or 16. No, 16 is the final one. I don't know what route here. I guess this will be the fastest to unlock everything in here. Like, to unlock these 2 rewards here. It's a little bit weird the way it works, but sure, why not? Now, one thing I should note is that you might see that the image of the cars are overlapping the selector below. That's because of one specific option that the emulator in itself has. Though I'll talk more about that later. So there are 2 H's or what? Are these 2 H? Yeah, I guess it is. Well, I prefer the Aveli or whatever you call this. Yeah, give me this. No, then you don't seem to change the color here. I like this one though. But yeah, essentially, there are some elements in the UI that overlap like that, because for NVIDIA cards, only for NVIDIA cards, some of the sprites on the track kinda flicker. And they flicker in a very distracting way, which I don't like. So you have to turn that setting on to make them stop flicker. But as a drawback, there are some things in the UI that don't show up the way they should. I personally don't care, because if it's only in the UI and doesn't affect the gameplay whatsoever, who cares? But yeah, you will see here, look at the bottom left. Well, not here, I guess. Okay, never mind. Look at the bottom left at the end of the track. Oh, there it is. So you see that thing that tells you the current time of the checkpoint and how far you are from... Well, I don't know if you are from the next or the first car. But the point is that that thing is not supposed to show there, floating in the air. It's supposed to show on a little Pac-Man circle. You have a circle that shows Pac-Man in the background. So, well, you will see it again now. Yeah, right there. Those two are the only things I noticed. I mean, I only tested like 2 races, so it could get worse later. For now, it should only affect those UI elements and not the game itself. So I cannot afford to care enough about that to not play the game, you know. If you have an AMD video card, apparently that doesn't happen. I mean, the trees flickering, which make me activate that option that does that. I had an AMD card, but I changed for an NVIDIA one. There are some times when very specific things, especially in emulators, don't work very well, or rather work on AMD but not on NVIDIA. But this tends to be very few cases. Like, if you personally ask me, I don't think that AMD video cards are worth getting at all. At some point they had the edge over the price, but now they don't even have that. So yeah, not worth it if you ask me. Well, that's all about video cards and shit. That has nothing to do with the game. The game itself is essentially, as you might be able to tell, takes a lot from the PSP Ridge Racer games. Like, you have the same like goofy announcer, you have the same drift mechanics, very similar UI as well, and the cars are also pretty much with the same logic. That's pretty much that. But yeah, I only tested 2 races because obviously it's the first time I play the game, so aside from testing I wanted to, you know, leave the rest for the actual stream, you know? That's the point. So yeah, that's what
Alright, dude, we got ourselves a heated race at Surfside Resort. You ready? Let's get it on.
Surfside Resort. Oh, something that I forgot to mention. The previous track, Harbor Line 765, is a new one that got introduced in this game, because I'm pretty sure I didn't see it in the previous ones. And this one I think is also new, right?
Let's go.
I mean, it doesn't seem similar to any other one I saw. I don't think so. Looks pretty nice, seems very simple as well, especially considering that these are the first ones. But yeah, I think that neither of these 2 are returning tracks. Like, these are... Wait, hold up a second. I've just been thinking something. You can play all these events in a row, but are they all the same class? Well, I will assume they are. Because I mean, if one of the next events is on a higher class, and I'm using this card, it's like a bad idea. No, I think I'm gonna be fine. Also, that card that you see right there on first place, pretty sure that one takes after the Ridge Racer card, the Pegase, the one that looks like a like a freak card. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be that. I mean, this Abel is also from Ridge Racer. It's actually surprising the amount of things that modern is a way of saying, because this game released 20 years ago, but by modern I mean non-PS1 Ridge Racer. Like, the amount of things that they take from Ridge Racer. Except for tracks, I guess. For some reason they don't take many there. Yeah, it's fine. So, speaking of things that change from game to game, in terms of mechanic, the nitrous in the PSP games, you could only use one nitro at a time. Here, if you have 2 or 3, you can spend them both at the same time. Apparently you go faster though. I don't know if it's worth it. It might not be. I do remember that Ridge Racer 7 also has that, and I quite frankly don't remember if it was worth to do it that way or not. I keep in mind that Ridge Racer 7 is a game that I play like, I don't know, like 13 years ago. I don't remember much of that game.
Okay, next race.
But for what I understand, 6 and 7 are not very different. It's kind of like Namco's plan, or what I have to assume, was mostly, you know... We got ourselves what? I guess that's another thing that might happen. The announcer might cut off on the intro. If anything, I see that as a plus. Fuck the announcer. I never really liked this announcer. Like, I know he's supposed to be goofy and over the top, but I don't like that. Being over the top is fine, but this guy just sounds goofy on top of it. I mean, after all, the original announcer in Ridge Racer, the first game, was also very over the top. But he sounded cool. This guy just sounds like a moron to me. So, if a bug cuts him speaking, I think that that's a bug I rather have. That aside, this also seems like another new track. Well, I guess saying new track is to be expected. If anything, the weird thing is that the PSP games had so many recycled tracks. But yeah, it's alright. Though they might, I mean, if you look at the layout of the track, it kind of looks similar to some of the ones in the previous game, but I don't think they are exactly the same as any of them. I mean, if you look at the place itself, the way the place looks, kind of looks like one of the places from Ridge Racer 4, but I don't think it's supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be its own new thing.
You beat the record. Great.
What record? It also seems that it bugs out sometimes that it doesn't say that it's the final lap, right? Again, if these bugs only affect the announcer, I can be asked to care. Like, keep in mind that the thing about this emulator is that it's still very experimental. So we do what we can. It's just one of those games that I've been wanting to play for a while. I mean, I've been wanting to play this game ever since I played 7, because I'm like, damn, I really like this game, and 6 is most likely very similar.
Now let's go to the next race.
And I never own an Xbox console.
Time for the replay.
Like, not the original, not 360, not 1, and not the Series ones either, so I'm afraid that wasn't possible. The aviator loop, and it has a dinosaur. What? Huh.
3, 2,
Okay, I think I recognize this track from Ridge Racer 7. I mean, it's called Aviator because of the planes. I don't know why the dinosaur is related to that.
easy win.
Oh, why? It's just a random, well, 2 dinosaurs. Wait, what's the game up there?
Here comes some crazy
I couldn't see it. There is a... I got distracted. There was a girl showing her ass on one of the posters. Dead by Degrees. Oh, that's the Tekken game, the Nina game. Like for some reason,
Whoa! Someone fired off
like
some nitrous.
Namco released a spin-off of Tekken specifically based on Nina, which is one of the characters from Tekken. Apparently it wasn't a very good game at all. Like nobody seems to care about it.
2 laps to go.
I didn't play it, so I wouldn't know. Okay, that's Clonoa, the one on the left. I also saw it. That one I can't read, the one that is up there. And I also know who is the chick showing her ass. So far I only recognize Dead by Degrees and Clonoa, which, as you would expect, are both Namco games. So I'm assuming the other two I don't recognize are also Namco games. I mean, if they weren't Namco games, Namco would have to pay for the license, so
Amazing.
it doesn't seem like a very smart thing simply to have like an in-game advertisement.
It's a new record. You're in first place. Final lap.
At least he said final lap now. But I don't recognize many of it. I mean, the only way to recognize is to stop and see them. Though it's mostly about seeing the letters. Because I mean, the Dead by Degrees one, if I didn't read the fact that it say Dead by Degrees, I wouldn't know that it's talking about that game. So it's more about being able to read. If the resolution of the image is big enough.
Woo! It's the final stretch. Floor it.
I'm not gonna hide it.
Let's go to the next race.
The one I'm the most interested in is the one with the girl showing her ass. A very simple man. I don't think that it has anything
The
to
race will
read.
be held here at Surf.
At Surf. Okay, that's also Dead by Degrees, that other one. And so they really were marketing that game, huh?
3, 2,
That game absolutely, for what I understand, absolutely flopped.
Great start. Now go for the lead.
I mean, that's usually what happens with fighting game spin-off, like nobody cares about them. I mean, if already not that many people care about fighting games, so I guess Tekken at this point in time was an exception.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, this was around the time of Tekken 5, and Tekken 5 was very popular.
Just a game.
It's just a game, bro. This stupid announcer also likes breaking the fourth wall for no reason.
Ooh, yeah.
Or maybe he's a psychopath and he thinks that street racing is just a game. Both are as likely. Also that flying thing that say Mokushin. Mokushin also another one of Tekken characters.
Nitrous ready.
So this is, by the way, the same track that I play second, but in reverse. I'm assuming that the difficulty is harder, well, it's very slightly harder because getting to first place here takes a longer time,
Someone fired off some nitrous.
but not much. It seems that at this time Namco really went full in to advertise Tekken. Though ironically I'm not seeing any Tekken, like the actual game Tekken 5 as an advertisement here. Yet. I didn't see it yet, maybe it exists. I'm looking, I'm trying to look at least. Personally don't see it. It will be worried.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Will be weird if they wouldn't promote their main franchise. I mean, even back then, 20 years ago, I'm pretty sure Tekken was still Namco's biggest money printer.
Nitrous on standby.
I mean, keep in mind that 20 years ago, if we're talking about Tekken 4 and Tekken 5, I'm pretty sure those games alongside Dead or Alive were the best looking games at the time. Well, since then, unfortunately, fighting games have stopped being the best looking ones in you know in the gaming world, but that's fine. Also, who is throwing this confetti, by the way? Okay, here it makes sense because I see the place with the people watching there, but there are places where there's no one and you still see that confetti. Well, I mean, there are some devices that, you know, Harbor Line. It cuts the audio when it presents the track. I mean, I personally don't really care. Obviously, all these things will be nice if they work properly, but I mean, the game itself is working properly. So, I think that's all that matters. Besides, I don't think that has anything to do with the option that I enable or whatever. I think that that's simply... I mean, the option that I enable for the trees to not flicker, I think it's something related to the depth of textures, right? Like, the way it was done before, or rather that is done by default in this emulator, like, to decide which texture is shown on top of another, it's like it does a very, like, precise calculation. And that calculation, for some reason, doesn't work very well on NVIDIA video cards. So the option, what it does, or what I understand, is making the calculation an approximate. So that way, it doesn't have to be super precise. That's what I think. I mean, I know nothing about emulation, so I'm probably just talking out of my ass, but it has something to do with that. So the audio cutting, the audio of the announcer cutting has nothing to do with that. I mean, it shouldn't. Also, I'm distracted talking about this and I didn't see that. I think there was a Tekken poster that I completely ignored. Well, there is one more lap, so we can see it there. I remember Tekken 2. What you mean, ultimate charge? No? Is that a bug too? What you mean, ultimate charge? I'm not even close to 3. It's fine. Don't worry about it. At least the music works well. There's something that I heard some people say that music in the Xbox emulator doesn't work very well. Seems it does. That's good. Alright, so here, the posters. Yeah, I think one of them is a Tekken one. Maybe it's something else, but I think I recognize Yoshimitsu, right? Maybe it was also a Soul Calibur poster. I mean, Soul Calibur is also another franchise that appear in posters for the Ridge Racer series. So, maybe. I'm about to have the ultimate boost, by the way. Well, nitro, whatever.
Oh yeah, nitrous and max.
Right.
Give it up for nitrous
Damn.
drifting. The finish line is straight ahead.
You go to the afterlife when you activate this.
Okay, next race.
Though I must admit that
Here we go. Replay.
the visual effect is pretty cool looking. But yeah, it feels like you're going in a travel to another
The race is about
dimension.
to start. Got your driving music? Let's get it on.
Yeah, sometimes his speech finishes as normal, but sometimes it cuts off. This is a new track, by the way.
3, 2,
So ironically, did it
1.
say that it's on reverse?
Go.
Because I didn't play this track and I'm already playing it on reverse.
Baby, chill.
I mean, that's the
This shouldn't be a problem.
the result of not really having a linear path and being able to select any route you want, you know.
Whoa, here comes some crazy nitrous.
Yeah, considering that if you want to get every reward, you're kind of supposed to what am I saying?
Easy win.
To play every event,
Whoa.
you know, kind of have to do that. I mean, or you could also speed run and just go for the fastest route, and that's it.
Someone's using
But
nitrous to catch up.
why would I do that? It's Ridge Racer, of course I want to play it all. Why wouldn't I? Though,
Nitrous on stand.
there's something that I should also clarify. I remember in Ridge Racer 7, which is, as I mentioned,
Can't believe my eyes.
a game very similar to this one, there were a couple of events that I couldn't finish.
Just a little bit more.
I mean, they weren't enough to, they weren't important enough to consider the game bitter or not.
What's wrong?
I mean, obviously they were part of like the 100%, right? So I couldn't beat those. And if events like that are in this game, I also cannot promise beating them. We will see though, you never know. It might seem weird to think that, considering that these races seem so easy. But yeah, trust me that if it is like 7, at the end you get some very hard races. Well, you can compare them to the one on the PSP game.
Powering up ultimate charge.
Oh, I see why he says ultimate charge. It's when you are out of a nitro, the drift that you do right afterward charges more nitro than usual. It wasn't a bug, it worked as intended. But I was about to say, the events that I'm talking about are kinda comparable
Nitrous on standby.
to the ones on the PSP. The ones on the PSP, at the end, it's a race of 4. I mean, you race against
You got some
3 other competitors, and they all constantly are right on your tail. Like, unlike this mode where you overtake everyone and you stay on the lead, on that mode you are constantly juggling the first place with other competitors. So that's essentially the mode that I'm talking about. And if it is in 7, it most likely is in this game too.
ready to go.
And if that's the case, some of those races could be very hard to beat. But yeah, that's the only thing that I think can stop me. Like, I'm not scared of the bonus cars or anything like that. That should be easy to deal with. I wanna believe.
Nitrous ready.
It should be fine. I shouldn't have anything to worry about. I mean, it's Ridge Racer. Why would we worry?
Awesome.
Ridge Racer is always chill. Yeah.
Okay, next race.
So how many rounds are left with the path that I took? Actually, you know what will be pretty funny? If after all the races that I took on the path, it crashes on the final one.
The race will be held here
Oh.
at Seacrest District. Looks like your rivals are ready to go. Let's get this thing moving.
Well, as you can see, the announcer never really says anything
3,
important,
1,
so
go!
we're not missing
I
much.
think that's the best start I've seen in a while.
It is also a new track. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, because technically the game hasn't saved yet, you know? Like, if the game were to crash now, all that I just did goes down the toilet.
Nitrous.
Nah, but it's gonna be
Here comes the
fine.
crazy nitrous.
Also, I think I saw on the bottom right
Teach a class.
that it showed an an interrogation mark, or well, question mark, whatever you wanna call it. So I have a feeling that beating this will unlock that secret. But the question is that secret like a simple unlock, or is it a race against a car that you will unlock after beating? I mean, that's how it is in Smash Bros. Every character you unlock it after beating it in a 1v1. So it probably is the same here. Or not, I don't know. Hard to tell. Double. Now, looking at my car like this, I do wonder why you are not allowed to change the color. I understand that you have the same car multiple times with different liveries, but you also had that in the PSP games, and you could also change the color in each one of them. Well, maybe there is a button for that, but in the UI at least I did not see it, so I have my doubts. At least the cool thing is that
It's a new record. You're in first place. The others aren't even a challenge. Final lap.
the others are not even a challenge, I agree. I was about to say that it's nice to see the car models differently from the PSP game, that they actually have the textures in the resolution that it should. The irony is that if I could get the PSP games to actually scale... Oh, this guy is going crazy. But if I could get the PSP games to actually scale with the rest of the resolution, that would be nice, because like the game will easily look better than this one. Well, with all the improvements, of course. Yep. Right. Considering the way he screamed finish, I'm assuming this was the last one. Save replay? No. All races clear. Yeah. So where is my reward? Oh, you're showing the path that I took. Wait, what? Oh, you're showing what I unlock, rather. 2 areas explored? What?
A new car.
Boson Fiera.
You unlocked a new car.
Huh. Well... Oh, I was out to say, weird that you didn't give me the cutscene. Alright. This one has the Pac-Man livery or what? This doesn't have a Pac-Man livery. Pac-Man is only on the truck that transports this thing. It looks cool though. I mean, then a Terrassi one. I think this is the first Terrassi that I get. I think the other company that I had, like, it was Kamataish and Donovan, right? That looks pretty stupid. This is not supposed to be Terrassi, this is supposed to be Aish. That clown car. The one on Ridge Racer. Alright. So these are the cars you unlock. I like the negation sound that you get. Now, because of what we did, the next routes cannot be really very long here, because it can be at most 3 races. I could do this 3. I mean, I could do this once first, I guess. But it is as far as you can do this route. So what I unlock is... Wait, what did I unlock? Yeah, the Terrassi, sure, but what one was the other one? Oh, the Kamata, this one, the Foson Fiera. Well, I mean, I'd rather pick this one. For what I understand, there's no way to change the color of the car. I don't really care, but
Get ready to race.
it would be nice to
race
have.
is about to start. Got your driving music? Let's get it on.
South Bay Docks. Sure. So yeah, essentially for now,
3, 2,
there are no returning tracks.
go!
So yet again,
Wow,
this
what a
one
start. This is what I wanted to
actually
see.
this one reminds me a lot of a Ridge Racer 4-1. I don't think it's the same one.
Let's go.
I mean, it's just because it's on the docks, like on a port.
Got some
I don't think it's supposed to be
easy win.
the same one. Now, as you can see, these ones by the dinosaur that you see there, these are obviously
Someone fired up some
they
nitrous.
take place on the same area, just that the combination of paths is different. I mean, that's a classic in Ridge Racer, like usually multiple tracks in reality are the same track but with different paths being open. This is no exception. Oh, this might look a little bit clunky on stream. This floor, well, the way I see it, it's like super
Fired off some nitrous.
rocky, right? Like it's supposed to be the typical rocky asphalt, which has a lot of detail. But means that when you stream this sort of thing, that detail, because of the bitrate, it doesn't tend to
Oh yeah. Now that's what I call a jump.
doesn't tend to translate very well to the stream. Well, in racing games, most asphalt doesn't translate well to stream. Because yeah, you need a lot of bitrate to properly show what the player is seeing, you know. Because it's something that is like a very static noise texture,
How did you do that?
and it's quickly scrolling by. That makes it very hard to translate into a stream. You will need a very high bitrate to
Double nitrous red.
perfectly show it, you know. But that's pretty much the vein with racing games. Like, it's very hard when you are live streaming, at least, to show a racing game exactly the way that the player is experiencing it. Because I can guarantee you that this looks very well detailed.
Whoa.
So you probably are seeing it like more pixelated or something. Also, how is it going, Wasabi? You can access the chat on mobile browser, really? Maybe you need the application to do that? Yeah, download the app, I guess. Well, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. Maybe you can find a plugin for that. I mean, keep in mind, when you access a browser, I can tell you this because I'm a web developer. When you access a browser through a cell phone, it's not like you're accessing a different application. You're accessing the same application that simply changes the logic slightly to adapt to mobile. Obviously, there are different solutions, and some are more intrusive than others, but you might be able to somehow trick the web page to think that you are not on mobile. How? I don't know, but usually that's how it works. I mean, the most basic way to do it, some people use the user agent, but I think the most popular way, and well, at least the most simple way to do it, is do resolution checks. So for example, if you are above 700 pixels or whatever the threshold is, you are considered to be in a desktop device. But if you are below 700, talking about horizontal pixels, right? If you are below 700, you are considered mobile. So there might be a plugin or something that you can use to bypass that, or not.
Now let's go to the next race.
Yeah, probably more trouble than it's worth, I guess.
Replay.
But it's the only thing I can tell you. Because I have no cell phone,
The race
so...
is about to start.
Oh.
The car
What did you say, Cuckoo? Actually, I remember this track from Ridge Racer 7 and I absolutely love it.
3.
I don't know if I love the layout. I love the way it looks. It's such a cool looking track.
Now go for the lead.
Or at least if it's the same one, I think it is. I don't think I have any reason to not think that. Like this one, if it's the one I think it is, should lead to a tunnel.
What's wrong?
Well, yeah, it leads to a tunnel. I'm not sure if it's that one. Now you can see in tracks like this that losing your speed early on an uphill costs you a lot. So that's not something that you can afford doing often.
Ah, yeah! This one's yours!
I think it might be this one.
Whoa! Here comes some crazy nitrous!
Not so crazy right now, honestly.
Just a little bit more. Yeah!
It is most likely the same track. So I think that in Ridge Racer 7 it was more well lit. Like here in comparison it looks a little bit dark.
Double nitrous red.
I don't particularly mind because I obviously can still see. But this is a pretty weird song.
2 laps to go.
I mean, it's Ridge Racer, so
Nitrous. Amazing!
weird songs are a given.
Ah, yeah!
This one is quite weird. The Namco sound team, when it comes to Ridge Racer, is like the instruction they are given is do the weirdest shit possible. That's what we want.
Counter. You're one heck of a driver.
At least I'm glad. I mean, regardless of my opinion on the music, that at least that is something that the emulator handles properly.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go.
I'm gonna have 3 now.
Nitrous is full. It's a new record. Ah, you're in first place. Final lap.
I'm in first place. And this nitro is gonna take me even further. Okay, as you can see by picking the events on the top of the grid where you select the route, the top ones are the hardest ones. And even if it doesn't look like it, the second place following me relatively closely at the start of the final lap is certainly harder than some of the other ones. At this point in time it won't make any difference, of course, as you would expect, but I guess it will make a difference later
Double nitrous ready.
when the cars get faster and shit. Okay, we got it.
Okay, next race.
Wait, wasn't that the third
Time
one?
for the replay.
Am I going crazy? Yeah, I guess not. It was the second one. Alright.
The race is about to start.
Island.
Got your driving music? Let's get it on.
Island Circle. Why is it a circle? That doesn't look like a circle. But wait, isn't that track? Oh, I see why I recognize this track. I infamously recognize this track. This is a track that is also in Ridge Racer 7. And it's, remember that event that I told you that is the only one that I couldn't beat? Well, it takes place in this track. That's why I recognize it so easily. This track, as you would expect, is not easy, but especially with that like 4 rivals event, it's even harder.
Someone's using nitrous to catch up. Whoa, here comes some crazy nitrous.
It might be the hardest track in the game. I'm not sure though, maybe not. But at least following 7's logic, it certainly is hard. Now, it's pretty interesting to me to see the way unlocks work in this game compared to how they work in 7. In 7 you get money to buy new cars and, if I'm not mistaken, to buy upgrades as well. In this game you just do it by driving. Obviously the secret cars you unlock them by beating them. But the regular cars you could purchase them instead of unlocking them normally like in this game, so seems that for the first time in the series since Ridge Racer, they actually put money in 7. Just quite crazy to think about, because I thought that it would have been, because when I played 7, I hadn't played 5, 6 or the PSP games, so I thought that money was a thing in all of them, but no. It apparently is only a thing in 7 and in Ridge Racer. Very weird that they only use the concepts of money there. I mean, why not? If you ask me, I personally prefer unlocks like this one. Because with money, I feel like you always have to rethink multiple times, like, you know, what is a good acquisition? Like, am I gonna be wasting money for purchasing this, or will I use it? Should I spend it on this other car or stuff like that? But by being this way, you just unlock stuff and that's it. So I personally prefer like this. And I say that as like the biggest Ridge Racer fanboy, but even in that situation I still prefer the way it is for this game and 5 and all of those, that is simply unlocking by playing. What's gonna be the unlock here? Probably a class 2 car? Or are those unlocked by default? This announcer is not right in the head. Alright. So, what car are you gonna give me, game? Or maybe you're not gonna give me a car. That's what I did. You have won a prize. Oh, okay, it tells you which one it is. I was out to say you won a prize, but it's a surprise, bro. You won something. Alright, so this one is called Dragon Spirit Wall Gang. Well, that's certainly a wild name. I mean, it's the same shit I unlocked last time, but with a different color. Well, I'm pretty sure it also changes the drift type and all of that, but on these levels that's not very important. So, well, here, this one is already, like, I'm assuming the different color showcases that this is a different class. How many can you pick? So if you pick this one, you will only be able to follow this path. But wait, before that, I want to check what class is this car.
Okay.
Oh, so this is already class 2. But wait, what does the different color mean then? Oh, it's that it's a different type of event. It doesn't change the class, just the event type. Alright, so here the thing is that we will probably have to do this. Oh, hold up. Oh, okay, the ones spinning are the ones I haven't done yet. Okay, I guess we can do this. Well, the 11 and 12 we will have to do it in 2 different stops, basically.
Is this okay?
The idea is unlocking the most possible, so the next route can also be very big. Alright, so we can use that one thing we unlocked, the Dragon Spirit Wild Gun.
Terrazine Wild Game. Get ready to race.
What a name, dude. Dragon
All right,
Spirit.
now, we got ourselves a
Oh.
heated race at Cross Bay Tunnel. You ready? Let's get it on.
Crossbay Tunnel, also abbreviated as CBT.
3, 2.
Well, that was something I wasn't expecting.
Wow, awesome start. You jumped right off the starting line.
Wow. Alright. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
We are racing at CBT.
Woohoo! Double nitrous ready. Whoa, here comes some
Do you
crazy
think that they
nitrous.
did it on purpose? Nah. It surely was an accident. Huh. Look. Okay, see, here's the thing. CBT as an acronym also means yeah, what Wasabi should say. I was out to say that. It also can mean cognitive behavioral therapy.
Someone's using nitrous to catch up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
It
a
means
little bit
that.
more.
Hey, don't worry about it, we're fine.
Oh,
Also, you know that
yeah.
this is the track that I remember from 7. When I was playing the PSP game and I was playing like the Rave Racer remake tracks, I was thinking of this one and I was asking why aren't the parts that I recognize here? But it's because they first appear in this game.
No one can touch you.
Well, no one can touch you, I don't know, in a track called CBT I will be more careful. Oh, this one I just realized that it has the Pac-Man name on the back. There is also another track like this one that goes inside of like a very fancy place like a hotel and shit. So this is one of the ones that I remember, but it's not exactly the one I have in mind. Also, as the previous games, you can tell that that's something that comes back, well, that never left, are the different speedometers for, well, speedometer slash tachometer from the previous games. And I'm glad that it didn't bug out, because you see that the UI has a couple of issues, but at least the in-game UI, what you see here, the only issue is when you pass through a checkpoint. Everything else looks absolutely perfect, and I'm so glad that's the case. That nothing gameplay related is affected, you know. That's pretty cool. Still can't believe I'm racing in CBT. That's it's kind of like you have to go out of your way. Cross Bay Tunnel. First of all, what's a cross bay? Is that even a word? Yeah, I can see that it being a compound word. It's a bay that it somehow crosses with something. Well, no, rather.
Excellent.
The tunnel is something that goes across two different bays. I guess that will be more the meaning. But yeah, to abbreviate that as CBT is like you really have to try. Also, I passed through a Taiko ad.
Double nitrous ready.
We got all of the Namco properties here.
Amazing.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I also passed through Tower of Drauga and shit like that too.
Oh yeah, it's a new record.
Namco loves referencing
Others aren't even a challenge.
those games. I do wonder what the one on the right is. Like that one, Neneko. I feel like I googled that at some point and I can't remember what it was about. Trying to remember, but I don't. I'm 100% sure I googled that, but I don't think it was anything important. It looks like a cat girl.
Nitrous on standby.
I mean, judging by the name, it makes sense. Yeah. Namco has a lot of stuff that is relatively obscure, especially nowadays. Considering that the only popular franchise they have is Tekken. Well, and Taiko, I guess, in Japan. Speaking of Taiko, we should be able to see it again, right? It appears around here. Yeah, there you have it, Taiko. The Taiko, and that's a very big billboard. That's pretty cool. Taiko no Tatsushin.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to play Taiko, you know that I play Muse Dash, which is relatively similar, but for some reason with Taiko it's like my eyes get, like I get dizzy when I play that game. Like it's very hard to follow with my eyes. But I guess, I mean, it's been a long time since last time I tried playing it, so... Also, what happens here when you press display? Oh, it toggles the... okay. Gotcha. Well, that was a CBT session.
It's a plane.
See, for this one, it's called Airport Lab. It's not, like, it doesn't get abbreviated as ALP or something like that. I feel like they made it on purpose. Alright. This track, I remember that in Ridge Racer 7 you race against a special car on this one. And I think I specifically remember that because it probably was the first secret car that I unlocked. So I don't know if you noticed some of the planes say Newcom Incorporated. That's a fictional company from Ace Combat. And yeah, more Taiko liveries and shit like that. Namco is very proud of their franchises. I wish they were proud nowadays. Instead of having like 100 dead franchises with nothing, would be nice if they actually did something with them. But nowadays they are more of a publisher than anything else. I mean, they publish some of the most popular titles. I mean, the entirety of the Souls games were published by Bandai Namco. Well, Bandai Namco, which is the new name that Namco has. They fused with Bandai. Now they are Bandai Namco. They are more publishers than anything else, unfortunately. So outside of Taiko and Tekken, most of the franchises that you see here are absolutely abandoned. So yeah, that's a shame, but it is what it is. I mean, after all, most of these franchises will not sell well. nowadays. At least not compared to what these companies usually assign as bad shit. Though I guess we have an exception with Ace Combat. Ace Combat 7 is a relatively modern game. Well, it is a modern game. It released like, what, 5 years ago? Maybe a little bit more, but the point is that Ace Combat is the example that even a relatively old franchise like that can still sell well. I don't know if it's sold according to their expectations. So, I mean, I guess if they did that, they will be releasing Ace Combat 8. You also see Electrosphere there, speaking of Ace Combat. Another Ace Combat reference. It's the name of the third game. But yeah.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go.
I do know that Ridge Racer will not sell. Like, they will have to do it.
Oh yeah, double double.
I don't know how they will have to. I mean, if I had the answer, they will have the answer too. But,
Ultimate charge.
well, eventually one of the people that work at Namco, which is Harada,
You're in first place.
said on Twitter once that these franchises that are relatively dormant, like, you know, Soul Calibur, Ridge Racer, or whatever, these are franchises that are mostly about having the teams to work on them, in the sense that if no team is interested in working on those franchises, a new game is not gonna happen. So it seems that nobody really wants to work on Ridge Racer anymore. I mean, it makes sense because you will have to do a lot of acrobatics to release a Ridge Racer game nowadays and make it a well-selling game. I don't think any team leader or whatever, the producer, I guess, I don't know what will be the title for that. I don't think any of those would like to take a risk like that, because in companies like that, video game companies, whoever is the director or producer is usually the one that takes all the blame for a game flopping. And that wouldn't be a problem in itself if it wasn't for the fact that it's like a permanent mark on your record. It's like your resume is now like permanently stained with a flop, right? That's probably why not many want to risk.
The race will be held here at Midtown Parkway. Looks like your rivals are ready to go. Let's get this thing moving.
Right. That's probably why they don't want anything to do with Ridge Racer. I cannot really blame them, because even if I will buy a new Ridge Racer game on day one,
Great start.
I know most people wouldn't.
Okay, let's go.
I don't think there are many, like, essentially this is something that I was thinking the other day.
Nitrous ready.
There are some
Fired off some nitrous.
games, or rather, most games that release nowadays, I will never purchase them on day one. Like, I will first wait for them to go on sale and then purchase them if I like it, of course. Most of the times I just don't bother purchasing anything new. But I feel like there are two franchises that if they release a new game, I will buy on day one, which will be Mega Man and Ridge Racer. Well, with Mega Man I already did it. With Mega Man 11 I purchased it like on the first week, and that's what made me start streaming, by the way. It all started with Mega Man 11 right when it released in 2018. So if Ridge Racer had something like that, I feel like even if it was extremely expensive, and it most likely will be because I don't think Namco has good regional pricing, I probably will still buy it on day one. That's what kind of made me reflect on what are like my favorite video game franchises, and it's those two, like without a doubt. Ridge Racer and Mega Man to me are in a different level. But yeah, I also feel, depending on how the game is, that another one that could make me buy on day one is Project Diva. But that really depends, because so far 90% of the Project Diva games are essentially like upgrades of a previous game. So like Mega Mits Plus is an upgrade of Mega Mits. Mega Mits is kind of like an upgrade, or I guess side grade, of Future Tone. Future Tone is also an upgrade of the previous one that I don't remember the name of, whichever came before Future Tone. And basically it tends to be like that. So if the next game is simply like a Mega Mix with slightly more songs, like only like 20 more songs or whatever, and that the other new features or whatever are not that interesting, I probably wouldn't buy it on day one. But if you tell me that a new Project Diva game releases and all the songs are like modern Vocaloid songs that, you know, are in none of the previous games, like imagine a Project Diva game with songs like Rabbit Hole or the like that are very modern songs. Like, I will buy that in a heartbeat. Like, that will be a day one purchase for me without a doubt. Not because of Rabbit Hole, that was simply an example. I'm saying that if they make a new Project Diva game where like 80% of the songs is new, I'll buy it. Unless the game only has like 40 songs and no other features whatsoever. But if it's like more than 100 like it tends to be with Project Diva games, then yes. Or downgrade, since I heard one of the games had features where you can decorate Miku's room, which the sequels remove. Yeah, that might be the case. And well, that's the reason why I purchased Project Diva X on PlayStation 4. That game ironically only has like 30 songs, which is very little, but it has a story mode. And it also has a lot of modifiers. Like, instead of having only hidden, high speed, or sudden, it has a lot more modifiers that are also part of the story mode. So games like that, despite the low amount of songs, I'm also interested in playing. And well, I bought that one, so obviously I'm interested in playing it too. It will happen soon enough on stream, don't worry about it. Don't know how soon, but that game is coming. Kilik Star Nose. Okay, so this is supposed to be the Pegase one, right? Supposed to mimic the Pegase from Ridge Racer, right? Yeah, pretty much. Just that they call it Star Nose, but this originally was called Pegase. I don't forget about that. This shit, you can call it any way you want. This is called Pegase to me. So yeah. Alright. So here... Well, see, here's the thing. At this point, what you will have to do... Well, essentially, if you want to do full completion, you will have to play these two separately. Because you cannot do a route straight here, and there's absolutely no reason to play this one again. So you will just play 11, and then you will play 12, right? So yeah. So hold up. Yeah, that means that I unlock this one, and if I beat 12, I unlock this one up here. Alright. Just wanted to clarify. Well, to clarify, I mean to be sure. So yeah, I guess this is the one we unlock.
Terrazine Starnose.
Yeah,
Get
let's
ready
go.
to race.
The race is about to start. Got your
Those
driving music? Let's get it
those
on.
franchises that I mentioned are the only ones that will make me buy a game day one.
Three,
There are also some
two,
other ones, it's just that some other franchises, for all intents and purposes, are dead. Like, I don't expect them getting a new game whatsoever.
let's go.
Oh, this thing is very weird. Aside from the fact that since it's a low car, it has a very low camera, the drift is extremely exaggerated. At least this track shouldn't be, well, this race in general shouldn't be that hard, but then this car is not very nice to drive at all.
Oh, here comes some crazy nitrous.
It is the kind of drift that you don't want to use. I'm gonna try to remember the name of the drift so I can avoid it
This one's yours.
every time afterwards. But yeah. Sorry, I was out to say there are other franchises like, you know, Daytona USA. If for whatever reason Sega decides to release a Daytona USA game on Steam, just to give a random example, I will buy it on day one.
Someone fired off some nitrous.
I mean, unless it's a direct port of 1, which I don't really care that much about. If they somehow release Daytona USA 4, I will buy it day one. But yeah, those franchises, I don't even mention them because I assume they are fully dead. I could say the same thing about Ridge Racer, but the fact that Ace Combat 7 exists makes me hopeful that before I die, someone is gonna release Ridge Racer 8. Though ironically,
Yeah, you beat the record.
if it's before I die, it's most likely gonna be someone that is not Namco. Because at that point, they probably lost the rights to the IP anyways. Or maybe they stopped existing. Like, that's something that, when it comes to thinking about the future, you never know what companies are gonna still exist. For all you know, Namco will disappear in 5 years. It's unlikely, especially since, as I mentioned before, they are the publishers of some of the most popular games. But it could happen. And if it happens, well, not much you can do there.
Final corner.
This car kinda sucks.
You got first.
Yeah, this car,
Replay.
gonna make sure to check the drift style and hopefully, okay, it says dynamic. That's the drift style. So anything that says dynamic we can safely ditch, basically. That how it is?
You unlocked a new car.
Oh, the Fatalita on class 2. Nice, so we got an Assoluto car. Always nice to see these ones. Usually they tend to be the best looking cars in every game they appear. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it looks a little bit weird without the rear wing, but to me it still looks so clean, you know? Alright. So, we can do this one now.
Is this okay?
So dynamic is what we are supposed to avoid here. So for example, this one, avoid. Which other one didn't I try? I guess this one did, like this Mappy Wild Gun, because I tried this other one, so I guess I could use it.
Terrazine Wild Game.
I mean, it's one of the unlockable ones. Obviously, I didn't try some of the other ones. Actually, I guess for variety, a better thing will be to try just a completely different brand. So I already did the Kamata, the Abeli ones. I didn't use the Prophecy. I also didn't use Danber, but all of these shits are dynamic, so they can suck my cock. Respectfully, obviously.
Prophecy.
I'm just using the H
Get
one.
ready to race.
Dynamic drift is the one we have to avoid, basically. Like, if it says dynamic, we are dynamically out of there. Uh-oh. This is a bad signal. I don't think that the track will take that long to load. We might actually be fucked. I mean, thankfully the game saved, and I want to assume that the autosave worked properly, but I think the game crashed. Well, technically soft lock, not crash. Well, oopsies. We will have to reload, don't worry. Alright, give me a second. Guess it was bound to happen. Oh, it's the first time it happens. It's nice that it didn't happen earlier. Alright, let's try to rock that back again. I mean, I hope the autosave worked. Because if the autosave didn't work, we are absolutely fucked. It looks like the emulator is garbage after all. Look, if it didn't autosave, yes, I will say that.
Welcome to the world of Ridge Racer.
Okay, no, don't worry, it's saved.
Ridge Racer World Express.
So here, oh, well, it will still count this unlock because technically the autosave happened before this. Okay, don't worry about it. It's safe. At least the autosave works, so we can't complain about that. Now, the question here is if what didn't work was whatever track is here. Well, no, because it's a reverse track of a track I already played, so it shouldn't be the track. Maybe it's the car that it didn't like, or maybe it was simply a random thing, you know?
Ready to race.
It's just a random thing. Alright, but that's actually a problem though, because it's not a problem here since it's only one track, but if this happens on a long route, that will be a problem. Though it's hard to tell the reason why it happened in the first place. It's also hard to tell if this is an emulation issue or not. Like, for all you know, the actual game might have done that too. Very hard to tell. Now that I've seen that, I'm a little bit scared of going for long routes. So I still don't understand what's the point of going for long routes in the first place. I mean, the good thing is that you have less loading times. That's cool. You have less loading times because you only pick the car once, and once you select the route, it's a race after the other. But if the loading issue happens in the middle of one of those routes, you are fucked because it doesn't autosave after every race. It only autosaves when a route is over. Obviously, if a route is only one race, it will save after the race, clearly. At least with this, we have confirmation that autosave works. So that's good. The saving feature works properly. That was interesting. It's a problem because I do like the feature of going for long routes. And I will keep doing it. Hey, look at it this way. I'm gonna keep doing it until it happens in a long route. I know that that's a very stupid reasoning. Like, if I was smart from now on, I would only do one race at a time. But I won't. I will do long routes until it crashes in the middle of one. Yes, you will be correct of calling me a dumbass and a moron. Yes, that's true. But it's a risk I'm willing to take simply because it's such a good feature, being able to go through multiple races at once. So yeah, pardon my idiotness, but I wanna go for long routes. So I preemptively apologize if the game crashes in the middle of something like that. So I'm so glad the autosave is a thing. Obviously in consoles like the Xbox 360, autosave was already a standard because these consoles stop using memory cards. These consoles use hard drives instead. So the autosave is something that is logical because you just use the internal storage and nothing that has, well, obviously the internal storage has limited size, but I mean here hard drives at that point were already quite big, and the save data is something that doesn't take that much space. So pretty sure that in the Xbox 360 you could store all the save files you wanted without worrying about running out of space. So yeah, we gotta be thankful for the autosave here, because this would have been an absolute disaster otherwise. Like, it would have been such a disaster. You don't even know how bad it would have been. It would have been tragic. Would have been a stab right in my chest. Yeah. Don't worry, we're in the clear for now.
You got a new car.
Another Fatalita, huh? So does this one have a rear wing? I'm assuming it won't, because like the rear wing probably appears on class 3 onwards. So this one probably the only thing that changes is the livery. Yeah, correct. It's the same car. It's just with a different livery and most likely, yeah, different drift type or whatever. Alright. Well, we essentially fully completed everything that is on this first classification, which I'm assuming is class 1. So now, the fucked up thing about these paths is that they are kinda mutually exclusive, differently from the beginning. Here when you follow a path, you cannot really circle anything. Like, look at this. If you start here, you can only end here at 23. And if you start at 24, you could loop back to 33, and well, the same will apply in rear. Well, actually, we could do that one first to unlock whatever is in here. I guess we could do that. But then afterwards, every single path is linear. Every single path is just go, 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 basically. Alright, well, we can start with this at least. And also experience that type of event that is not a regular race, apparently. Alright, so yeah, we could start with the Fatalita, right? Though these are Bisonte. The Fatalita are these ones. Though to be honest, these ones look better, visually at least. Have the Esperanza and the Ratio. This is the one that had a secret car in the PSP games. Unfortunately, all of these are dynamic, so they will have to respectfully eat a dick. Yeah, I like the Bisonte. Like, well, especially this one. That one looks pretty cool. I think I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah.
Get ready to race.
The Bisonte.
Rock on, rock on.
Oh, we have a Soul Calibur ad. Yeah, I was talking about earlier that I haven't seen Soul Calibur yet. Well, there you have it. We have Soul Calibur.
3, 2,
The only one that I still need confirmation of is Tekken.
oh, what a start!
So-
I didn't know you had it in you.
I have a feeling that the camera should automatically change. Did I do something? Well, there's only 2 cameras. For some reason, with every car I'm picking up now, it feels like the camera is a lot lower. I don't know why. Like, ever since I picked the star notes, it feels like every car I'm driving is super low on height because the camera feels low. As you can see, there's only 2 cameras. You have the front camera and the rear camera. I don't know about that scream, bro. That scream, you know that there is a very popular word that a lot of people like to use nowadays. I don't know how the pronunciation is, because you know I'm an ESL, but I think the word is something like safety or something like that. Not sure what the pronunciation is, but yeah, that's what they will call this guy after a scream like that. Also, we have the track here, by the way, the high shack, which in the PSP games it was a special secret car, but here it's a regular one. But it also was a regular one in Ridge Racer, so that makes more sense if you ask me. Yes, Esti, I don't know exactly what the word is, but basically as a way to say that someone is acting effeminate, you know. And that scream was certainly quite effeminate, which, hey, it's fine, I don't mind. I mean, I'm not gonna criticize the announcer for that. I mean, I'm gonna criticize the announcer for sounding like a moron, but yeah, that scream at least is funny. that scream is pretty funny. That one was also funny. Like then, it's as I said in the PSP games. With all these screams, you will think that the guy that is driving is him and not me. Or maybe he could be my co-pilot. But if you look at the window of my car, like try to take a look at the rear window, there's only one head. There's no one in the co-pilot seat, so I'm afraid that this guy is built differently. Let's just say that. I sometimes find it amusing what words are using modernly in the internet. Sometimes it is quite amusing. I also know how old that word is. Maybe that's an old word from before the internet. As I mentioned, I'm an ESL, so don't ask me about the origin of English words. Much less the pronunciation. Don't worry about it. So, place your bets. What do you think is gonna happen? Is the game gonna crash during a long route? Or is the game not gonna crash during a long route? Like, I'm honestly excited to find out. Like, I'm quite excited to see what could possibly happen. You know? I have no clue. anything could happen.
Woo! It's the final stretch.
Glory!
Okay, next race.
And there are 5 races in this route. So there is definitely quite a lot of progress that could potentially be lost.
Are you nervous?
And now every time that I see a loading screen, yeah, I am nervous. You wanted to know if I'm nervous? I am, because now every time that I see a loading screen, I get PTSD. So yes, Mr. Announcer, I am nervous. But not for the reasons you think.
Okay, let's go.
It's fine, look. We just gotta have faith, alright? It's gonna be alright.
Crazy nitrous.
It's gonna be alright. We're gonna be seeing, like, we're gonna be beating this route and we're gonna be laughing afterwards about how much, how much I worried for nothing, you know? You know, it's gonna be fun. Everything will be fine. Nothing is gonna soft lock. We are gonna be able to progress just fine without any obstacle. Trust the plan.
Someone fired off some nitrous. Check you out. Oh yeah, nitrous on standby.
I mean, I'm really a sucker for Ridge Racer games. I like them so much. I mean, it might be hard to relate for a lot of people, but to me, every time that I play these games, I just feel like, you know, I feel like I'm at home. I mean, I am at home. But what I'm trying to say is that even a game that I never played before, which is the case of this one, I just feel like, well, in this particular case, to be fair, this game is pretty similar to Ridge Racer 7, which yes, I already played before. But I'm just trying to say that this game just feels so natural to me. They really feel like I was meant to play them.
It's a new record. You're in first place. Relax, don't let the pressure get to you. Okay, this is the final lap. Hang in there.
It was certainly meant to.
Double nitrous red.
That's also why a lot of times I try to research on similar arcade games, well, arcade racing games. And when I say arcade, I don't mean literally, I mean games that just don't follow the simulation physics. And there are a couple, but a lot of them also have a lot of unnecessary stuff. Like, you know, customizing parts for the car or story or shit like that. So in cases like that, it's like I can be asked. Just that every Ridge Racer game, with the exception of 4, is so straightforward. Well, 4 is also straightforward, it just so happens to have a story as well.
I can feel this race is gonna be really hot. Now start your engine and get ready.
You say the race is gonna be really hot?
3, 2, 1,
Damn.
go! Oh yeah, great start.
Will it though?
Just a little bit more. Pedal to the metal. Whoa, here comes some
Just overtaking everyone like they were absolutely nothing.
Watch out, nitrous.
And almost, I could almost flew over those guys. No, I could almost fly over those guys. Blue is past tense. Like, at that point it would have been, I almost flew over those guys. But since you already used cooled, you already used the past tense. You wouldn't use another one.
Hey, watch out! Nitrous!
That's just basic grammar, bro. It's fine. Sometimes I have to remind myself that out loud to avoid making those grammar mistakes, you know? Hey, don't worry about it. Wait, there was a billboard on the left side that I couldn't read. Did it say Ace Combat or did it say something else?
2 laps to go.
It was a little bit fast. Also, I mean, I don't know if anyone cares, and I don't know why I will be saying this on a Ridge Racer stream, but like the Guilty Gear Strive edition with all of the DLCs is on sale. I don't know why anyone will care, but I'm just saying. It said Astaroth. I think Astaroth is supposed to be a Soul Calibur character, probably. Most likely. But yeah. Now, wait, it's about to appear here. Let me try to see it. But yeah, if it said Astaroth, it's most likely Soul Game. But I'm assuming it's a Soul Calibur character, right? I mean, I haven't really played the Soul Calibur game, so I'm pretty sure someone was called Astaroth there. I don't know. Doesn't it say Assoluto though? Oh wait, I just realized what type of race this is. This is a no nitro race. That's the reason why I didn't have any nitro. Now this is something that might not be so easy to see, but take a look at the trees here. Pay attention. See that, like that rectangle that shows up? That's also a result of using the option that I used to make them stop blinking on Nvidia cards. It has that side effect that is not very pretty, and it's obviously the same problem that the UI has where the elements overlap. But trust me, you don't want to see the trees blinking. Like, they are extremely distracting. Like, if you think that's distracting, just wait until you see the actual trees blinking. You will see what distracting actually looks like. But yeah, that's also a way of seeing that trees are 2D. They are not 3D models like the rest on the track, which is the reason why they are the only thing that behave differently. Because everything else, you know, you can look at the silos, you can look at the dinosaurs, at the towers, the billboards. All of them look fine, but they look fine because they are 3D models. So the 3D models have no problem rendering. Well, the 2D sprites do have trouble. At least, as I say, on an Nvidia card. On AMD, theoretically this doesn't happen. But yeah. So that being said, the only time where that weird overlap thingy happened was on that track. I mean, it most likely happened on the other ones, but it was only super noticeable there. Probably because there were a lot of trees one next to the other, so the overlap was a lot more obvious, because it most likely happens with those that you're seeing on the background, but if they are arranged in a certain way, it's not that obvious, you know? But yeah, trust me, that shit is nothing compared to how distracting it is to have the trees blinking. You can trust me on that one. The trees blinking are essentially an epilepsy hazard. It's not like they are extremely bad, but they really are distracting. And almost every track has trees on the side, so it's not something that I wanted to withstand, so that's that. Also, there are no nitros in these races, or rather, you don't gain any nitro, but you start with nitro. Well, in fact, you do gain nitro while you are using it and you drift while it's active. But aside from that, when you do regular regular drift like this, you don't build any nitro. So it's only the initial one and that's it. Yeah. It doesn't make any difference, because I mean, it's something that will happen both to you and to your rival, so if no one can use nitro, it's not much different from everyone being able to use nitro, you know? Since they are the same conditions for everyone, it's whatever. But yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, honestly, it might as well not be a different type of event. It makes so little of a difference that I don't even know why it's considered separate.
Okay, next race.
Hey, I don't mind.
Here we go. Replay.
I mean, I'd rather do this than have some weird time trial that is super hard to beat.
This is gonna be really hot. Now start your engine and get ready.
And this is the final round of this route.
3, 2, 1, go! I think that's the best start I've seen in a while. Oh, we gave me chills.
I think that you're a smooth talker, because I already heard that 2 races ago or something like that. Yeah, the best start you've seen in a while. Sure. But that's also another thing that I should mention. This game has jump start. Well, you also see it in the loading screens, but the way you jump start is by keeping the tachometer like close to the red zone before the countdown reaches 0, but not in the red zone. So basically, in this case, you keep it right before 7, before it says go. And when it says go, well, you floor it. You should keep the accelerator press, of course. That's the idea.
Whoa! Someone fired off some nitrous.
You see, like those trees up there on the background look weird. So it's something that if you're paying attention to it, it's the only time that you figure it out. But without actually paying attention to it, it's yeah, a different story.
2 laps to go.
If you pay attention to the car and like the surroundings of the car, it's very hard to notice those trees being as fag as they are. Well, I mean, it took me an hour and a half to figure it out.
How did you do that?
So as I say, it's also true that it depends on what track you're in. Some tracks are harder to spot than others, that there's something wrong with the trees. Well, hopefully I didn't ruin it for you though. Maybe you weren't noticing it all this time, and now that I pointed it out, you can't stop noticing it. But yeah, if that's the case, I apologize. But yeah, don't worry about it. Just look at the car. Look at how beautiful that Assoluto is. You know? Yeah. Also, I wonder what franchise that one there is. But yeah, I try to pay too much attention to it. But that franchise like kind of looks like they are in space. I don't know which one it is. Like, I couldn't read. All I read is Namco on the top left, and that's it. Yeah, it's whatever.
Oh yeah, it's a new.
Oh wait, that was the. I thought it was the final lap.
The others aren't even a challenge.
Yeah, I should be the one looking at the car. That's true. I mean, can you blame me though? The second car. I mean, it's not extremely far behind, but he's not gonna reach me. You know? That guy ain't gonna come anywhere near me. So don't worry about that. We're gonna be more than fine. I mean, the one time I should focus exclusively on the car is if we start having the 4 rival races where we have to constantly stay on the lead or fall behind. Like, that's the real issue.
Oh yeah, nice.
Nice. You know that I also been thinking about purchasing a new monitor. I have a feeling that I want to try how a monitor with G-Sync looks, which is apparently an NVIDIA technology. Not to mention I also want to have one with low delay if it's possible. Problem is that those monitors, like, they essentially ask an eye and a leg. Like, they are very expensive. And it's just a monitor, you know? I mean, sure, it can make the experience better and all that, and it's pretty cool, but sometimes it's a lot of money, you know? And as I said, it's just a monitor. Oh. I got an area. What is the area? Well, no, the area I know which one it is. What is the car is the question. Another Fatalita. So I'm gonna unlock the whole Fatalita line of class 2 cars. Is that how it goes? Well, sure. Why not, I guess. Alright. So, as I say before, this is the part that gets kinda lame, because every single route here, unless you repeat a race, the only way you can go is forward. Like, these are all linear routes. So here, this is like the only thing you can do. You just go forward. Now these are 7. I'm risking a lot here. This kind of feels like when you are betting on something and you go all in. I'm gonna pick this one though. Like, I just really like the way these cars look. Like, compared to this, the Fatalitas just look pretty ugly, if you ask me.
The race is about to start.
The co. What were you gonna say? What co? It's downtown Rave City.
3, 2.
Oh, this is the same track that was in the PSP game.
Wow, what a start! This is what I wanted to see.
It's the one that in the PSP game had
Okay, let's go.
like one of the shoot 'em up songs. It's the Namco. It might be.
Yeah.
And my name is Ko Namco. Yeah, it could be like that.
Some crazy nitrous. Uh-oh.
I mean, at least it will be better than good shot player. You truly are the Ridge Racer. That will be very cheesy. Ridge Racer. The only time that the term Ridge Racer is mentioned in the games, well, outside of saying like this is the Ridge Racer Championship or whatever, is when the song on Ridge Racer 4 happens. Like the most iconic song in the series, basically. The one sung by a girl.
Someone fired off some nitrous.
Yeah, I can tell you that here, if the loading softlock happens at any point on this place, we will be losing a lot of progress. So if you want me to suffer because I've been beating everything so easily and you want me to struggle, you have to beg for a softlock in one of the loading screens. But you wouldn't do that, right? I don't know. But yeah, hopefully not.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go. Pedal to the metal.
Honestly, I gotta admit that this car kinda look better from
Ultimate charge.
above. From the back it looks, I mean, maybe it's also because it's nighttime and the golden texture doesn't really, like it's not really that highlighted. Certainly look better in the car selection screen if you ask me. But it's fine, I don't mind. I mean, what I do know is that the Assoluto Fatalita here is basically like a lamer looking version of this car, even though I still like the way it looks.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Now that's what I'm talking about.
there was another one that was only dynamic drifting, so I ignored it. And then there was another one that I can't remember which one it was. And maybe on my next route I should be using that, for example. But I can't for the life of me remember what it was. It probably wasn't that important, right? It should be fine. As the introduction video said, the lower the tracks are, the events are, the easier they are gonna be. Which means that these most likely are gonna be absolutely free to win. So yeah, don't mind me. And this fucking guy, can't believe it. I feel like it's especially fucked up considering that I think every previous announcer in the Ridge Racer series was pretty cool in different ways, you know? Like basically the Ridge Racer, the original one, and the Revolution one was a guy with a lot of energy that, I mean, the thing that he says every time that a race starts, which is, what a start, this is just what I wanted to see. That's such a cool phrase, and especially the way he says it. Not to mention the countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. He says it in such an enthusiastic way, right? Then you have in Ridge Racer, you have a lady being the announcer. She sounds very channel. I mean, I can't make up what, like, half the shit she says. Like, I cannot understand half of it. But she sounds nice at least. Like, I wouldn't call her annoying. Like, she's a cool companion. And in Ridge Racer 4 you have like a very quiet guy being the announcer, but if anything, that's precisely what doesn't make him annoying, because he's very like low energy. I can't remember what was the announcer on 5, if it even had an announcer. Did it even have an announcer? I can't remember. So then the PSP games came, and this one as well, and they have this fucking moron as the announcer. In fact, I'm pretty sure that in Ridge Racer 7, the announcer was a girl too. Well, which will be pretty nice, because that means that we will be saying goodbye to this guy. Yeah. I certainly am not a fan of this guy. Let's just say that. I wonder if the guy that did the original Ridge Racer was the announcer in that game. I wonder if he became the announcer in another game. So if that's the case, I wanna play whatever game he announced. I guess I should look at the credits and actually pay attention, you know. This is one of those weird songs that I keep mentioning about Ridge Racer. Having weird ass songs, well, this is one of them. So far, the only repeating track in the game was the previous one, the one in that is supposed to be Rave City. It's supposed to be the one that is an extension of the Rave Racer track that got introduced in the PSP games. That's the only returning track so far. Every other one has been a new one. So that's cool that we have a...
Oh yeah, we got ourselves.
We got ourselves a bug, that's what we got.
3, 2,
It's fine. It's a good bug. Because it makes you shut your mouth. No, he's not gaining on me. Are you out of your mind? Who is gaining on me here? Are you not seeing that I'm overtaking the whole grid? Hey, come on, dude. Alright. Yeah, that guy is gaining on me, sure. Like, come on. These guys are making it a problem to overtake. Now, the interesting thing that I'm noticing here is the slipstream mechanic, which is essentially, you know, getting behind a car and going faster because of it, is something that is not in this game, despite being in 7. So that was actually a mechanic that was introduced in 7. You will think that for a racing game it's a little bit late to introduce a mechanic like that in the 7 installment. We do have ourselves, which is good. It's like Frank Sinatra said. Or what is a man, what has he got, not himself. Well, yeah. I am very happy of having myself, that's for sure. But yeah, also nice to have some Ridge Racer as well. What's not nice is to have this announcer. Actually, you know that I checked that this game has a lot of DLC. And for what I saw, I mean, not any gameplay related DLC, but it had a lot of music DLC. Like, well, in fact, Daredevil, that infamous song from Ridge Racer 5, is a DLC of this game. So maybe there is a DLC that replaces the announcer with one that isn't as insufferable. I will look into it, because it might be the case. I mean, if I can replace him for the Ridge Racer announcer, I'll do it in a heartbeat, basically. Without a doubt. I remember announcers being DLC, something that Blaze Blue did. Blaze Blue is a fighting game. And basically the ones that say like who won and round start and all of that were all, you had a lot of DLCs for that, which were usually the voice actor that did the voices for the characters. Well, in Blaze Blue in particular, you don't have them saying round 1 start, you have them saying Rebel 1 action. Because,
Okay, next race.
Arxis likes being very,
Time for the replay.
very pretentious with the round start phrases.
The race will be held here at South Bay Dock.
I mean, just look at Guilty Gear's Strive.
3,
Like, it says something like, I think it's mankind knew they couldn't change themselves, so instead of reflecting on their mistakes, they blame the beast or some shit like that, and then they say,
let's go.
heaven or hell, duel 1, let's rock. Like a whole 200-word essay simply to announce the start of the round. Obviously you can skip the thing about the beast and all of that. But yeah, it's just funny that that shit is there at the beginning of every fight. The art system works have always been like that. Having long ass round intros is kind of like a staple of them. Don't know why, but I guess once you are known for something, I guess you kinda roll with it. I mean, as long as it's not something that is bad for your image. This is only some silly stuff after all.
Nitrous red. Pedal to the metal. Easy win.
But I gotta say that I'm tempted to play Guilty Gear Strive against my better judgment. Simply because, looking at the Steam charts, a lot of people are playing that game. I mean, I already have Street Fighter 6 and obviously a lot more people are playing that game. But, it's a way to kinda switch it up. Because for what I understand, Guilty Gear Strive is a way more brain-dead game than Street Fighter 6. So, I will say that for someone like me that doesn't really want to spend time practicing, it might not be a bad idea. I mean, it's obviously the big degeneration of fighting games, just making every fighting game as brain-dead as possible to appeal to as many people as possible, of course. But yeah, that's not necessarily something that will be bad for me. Just that it will be nicer to play a fighting game with more complexity that at the same time what actually has active players. Yeah.
Nitrous on standby.
Because Guilty Gear has other games in the franchise, obviously, and they are way more complex to play. But there's also the fact that nobody plays them. Well, some people play them. It's the thing about fighting games, you know. Most of the ones with a big player base are gonna be extremely casualized. And believe it or not, when the objective is sales, like selling as much as you can, Guilty Gear Strive did a very good show at that. For better or for worse, it's a game that really resonated more with the casual audience. And that explains why it's such a... It's a game that is played so much, right? At the same time, the edition that has all the DLCs and shit is like $38 or something. That's a little bit too much for me, if you ask me. I mean, you could buy the edition that doesn't have the DLCs. There are multiple DLC characters that I would like to play as. Differently from Street Fighter 6 that I only care about Akuma. Like in Strive they make sure the DLC characters are... Well, at least they are characters that interest me. Hey, honestly, the choice of DLC characters in Street Fighter 6 so far has been quite shit. I mean, even Akuma, because Akuma being a DLC character in 2 games in a row is kind of insulting, to say the least. It should have been part of the base game. Obviously, they leave it as DLC because they know it sells. But yeah, they shouldn't have. And the other DLCs, I don't really give a shit about any of them. Like Ed, Aki, Rashid. Well, Bison, I guess I care a little bit. Again, it shouldn't be a character that's DLC. Who else do you have? Oh, you have Terry and Mai. Well, I also don't really care about either. And then the new one that's gonna come up is Elena from Street Fighter 3. Which, I guess it's cool, but I also don't care too much. So a game like that is like, whatever. I can live without the DLCs if those are my options, but in Guilty Gear Strive, it's like a very big portion of the cool characters are DLC. Like you have Slayer, Venom, Elfeld, Bridget. Well, I don't care about Sin. It's also DLC. Like who cares about Sin? Who else is DLC in that game? Well, Dizzy. I care about Dizzy too. Who else? Well, I'm pretty sure it has other characters I'm interested in. But the point is that I mentioned already 5 of them that I'm interested in. And there are probably more that I simply don't remember, so... In a situation like that, it feels like a good idea to get all the DLCs, but... I don't know, it's still very expensive as you would expect, so I probably won't.
Now let's go to the next race. Here we go. Replay.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So far, doesn't seem like we're getting any new tracks, aside from the ones we already raced on, I mean. These are all tracks that we already seen before in this game, I mean. It seems that for now, they don't have anything new to show up. I do remember that, for example, in Ridge Racer 7, they made a... Like in Ridge Racer 7, they did you know, the classic Ridge Racer track, the one in the first Ridge Racer. That one only appeared like at the end of the game. Like before that, they were using the same ones. Well, the same ones. I mean, they were all like either tracks from this game or new ones, but they only started using that one at the end. So this game most likely also will have some different tracks closer to the end. They save it as a surprise. So if they have that surprise, that I already kinda spoiled myself that surprise by playing 7. I mean, considering that every game since Ridge Racer 5 has that track, it's kinda expected that, you know, these games will have it. The only games that don't have that track are Ridge Racer and 4. Every other one has it. It's kinda like a token at this point. Like if it doesn't have the OG Ridge Racer track, it's not a Ridge Racer game.
You got some insane cornering skill.
But yeah, no, it's
You got 2 nitrous ready to go. Double nitrous. Amazing.
now after this game, well, technically the one Ridge Racer game
You're in first place.
that released after this one was
This is the final lap.
the second PSP one. Like essentially, I played the second PSP game earlier than I should have when it comes to release order, obviously. So technically, yeah, like oh, that was pretty bad. Oops. Yeah, I was about to say that technically that's the one that comes after this, but ignoring that one, the next one will be Ridge Racer 7 on PS3. And for what I understand, that one also has a couple of problems to run flawlessly, so on emulator, obviously. And the ironic thing is that I have that game on PS3, but the problem is that I cannot capture PS3 footage. Otherwise it will be so easy, like the PS3 is in another room. I will just bring it here and connect the capture card. But yeah, unfortunately it has like a streaming, well, I don't know how it's called, but basically capture protection, which is pretty annoying, but I can't do anything about it. Or at least I can't do anything with this capture card. Like I will have to purchase a new capture card to do that, and I'm not really willing to do that.
Okay, let's go. Easy win.
And after that one, I think what comes is the 3DS one, and then the Vita one. For what I understand, the 3DS game is essentially a port of Ridge Racer 64. So skipping that wouldn't make much of a difference at all. Because it's like I already played 64. I wouldn't mind playing it again though, so I guess in that regard I could play that game. It's called Ridge Racer 3D if I'm not mistaken. And then the Vita one, I actually played it on a real PS Vita, believe it or not. That game kinda sucks, unfortunately. Like, unless you have DLC, it barely has any content. And the content, for what I remember, was simply single races. Like, forget about a campaign mode like this one where you have all these events to complete. If I'm not mistaken, the Vita game was simply single races that you will play. So I'm not missing much there. And then you have some mobile games, but yeah, they are not worth playing. They are essentially worse version of 6 and 7. So, well, the Vita one is essentially a worse version of 6 and 7. So, in that regard, I personally cannot be asked. And I think that's it. I mean, afterwards you have Ridge Racer Unbounded that I already played on stream, so... But essentially after 7, it's those two, like the 3DS one and the Vita one. Also, I don't know how much this man's screams are blocking what I say. I hope it isn't, because if it is, I will have to decrease his volume. I hope this asshole is not blocking my words. That will be very infuriating. But whatever. There is another Ridge Racer game that is not really much of a Ridge Racer game, but apparently it's considered a spin-off. I think it's called Racing Evolution. It's a PS2 game, but it has a story and everything. But I have my doubts if it's worth playing. Like, to me, the fact that it has a story mode is already a red flag for me. Also, the main characters of the game are two very big titty girls, so that could make it interesting, but even then, I'd rather not. And what's even better is that they wear racing suits as well. Essentially, the people that were making that game knew exactly what they were doing. They don't fool anyone. But considering that no sequel got released to that, I'm assuming that the game probably did not do very well. Unless you consider it part of the Ridge Racer series, but I don't know. I feel like it's a stretch. It most likely was worked by the same team or something. For the little that I seen, it really didn't look very that similar. Well, after this one, the route is gonna end. It's gonna end with very convincing victories, without a doubt. Well, at least the good thing is that we got the route without any soft locks. We gotta be thankful. Now, you know, one thing that will spice these races up a little bit will be, instead of picking manual transmission, picking automatic. Just that I really don't like automatic transmission whatsoever. So I can't really be asked to do that. Mitsurugi Meltfire. Okay. Is that a Kanata car? No, it's Soldat. I mean Kamata, not Kanata. So is Mitsurugi another one of Capcom game? Capcom. I mean Namco games. Or what? I guess I could use that. Why not? Has a standard drift too. Alright. So here... Well, I mean, here we could simply go in order from like from low to high. So here there is a total of 5 routes essentially. You will do this. Well, you don't have to do 23 again. This one will unlock this reward here. So there's that.
Is this okay?
Right. This one, Mitsurugi Melfire. I like the way it looks. And yeah, it says Astaroth there.
Soldat Melfire.
It's what I've been told by Wasabi. Alright.
Are you nervous? I'm so excited.
Yes, you are so excited. I can tell by the way you are constantly screaming your lungs off, mister. Yes, I can tell you're excited. You don't need to tell me. I like the way this car looks. I mean, honestly, I'm kinda weak to the red color in general. I like the way red looks.
Just a little bit more. Double nitrous.
Pretty hard for me to look at a red car and not like the way it looks. Wait,
Nitrous ready.
I got free nitro there. Wait, so how does nitro gain works in this mode? I don't think that was related to my drift. Maybe it's related to overtaking other cars. So if it's not that, I don't know why I suddenly got nitro for no reason.
Ooh, sweet. Good drift.
I actually don't know what it is about. Okay, all I know is that once you are below 1, doesn't seem like you can get any more nitro for the rest of the race, so you better say goodbye to it. 'Cause you ain't gonna get it. I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that it say that the completion was 11%. Because shouldn't it be higher than that? Shouldn't it be close to 20 or something? Or are there gonna be more events that are hidden? Well, that's most likely the case, because for what it looks like, it seems that this Explorer mode, at least what's shown so far, only reaches until like before secret races or whatever. If it is 11%, this could potentially take a while. I mean, I guess it's safe to, in terms of progression, it will be safe to compare this game with the PSP games. Probably gonna be very similar in that regard, you know. I mean, I personally don't mind.
Oh, yeah. It's a new
I did it with the PSP games, so I obviously will do it with this one too. I mentioned before, it's Ridge Racer. I cannot let any race go unplayed, you know. That's not a good idea. thing that I'm a little bit sad is that there doesn't seem like the track where you go into like I don't know if it's a jungle, but it's like a track that you go into some ruins. Can't remember the name. Probably have the war ruins in the name, but that won't appear in Ridge Racer 7, and unfortunately it doesn't seem like it appears in this game, because, well, unless it appears later, so far I have not seen it, so a little bit disappointed in that, you know?
Here we go. Replay.
The replay that I'm not gonna watch.
Are you nervous?
Hey, you watch it, I don't mind. Now, the bad part about having these events that limit the nitro is that you're clearly gonna take longer simply to beat them. Because not having the nitro boost means that you are necessarily gonna go slower than if you had it. I guess the nitro gain at the end is not dependent on overtakes, it's dependent on how you drift. I guess maybe during the nitro. I think that differently for how it works normally. I don't think it's something that you gain by using it after the nitro. I think it has to do with how much you drift while nitroing. Not like it matters in these early stages, you know. Also, another thing to notice is that, just like previous installments, the only way to see the mirror is by using the front view, which again won't be important now. It will most likely be important in the final races. I mean, whenever those are gonna happen, you know. Which beats me. I don't know when they will happen. It could happen at any point.
You beat the record. Great.
It surely beat the record. Hey, that's also another weird thing. There doesn't seem to be records of the track. Like, you have your best lap, but nowhere in the UI it shows what's the best track time or the best lap time. I'm assuming that by saying that you got the best lap time, it's referring to specifically your laps in the particular race you're on.
Okay, next race.
Unless that's another UI bug. I'm pretty sure that doesn't show up even if you don't use the option that messes up the UI, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, I can feel this race is gonna be really hot. Now start your engine and get...
Harbor Line is supposed to be the track that is supposed to be the main one, both in this game and in Ridge Racer 7. Supposed to be the new main track instead of the OG, you know. As I mentioned when I was playing the PSP games, the 765 is supposed to be read as Namco. So yeah, this one is supposed to be a special enough track. It kind of feels like it takes place in the same place that the original Ridge Racer track does, but I don't know if it's the exact same layout. Like, it's hard to tell, because for example, this corner and especially this part look very similar, but the difference is that in the original one here, instead of a bridge, you have a tunnel. So if it was the same layout, that would already be impossible. Like, a tunnel is not the kind of thing that you should simply take away and replace with a fucking bridge. Like, this part with the beach also looks pretty similar, especially with the chicane in the middle. Just that you are driving it on reverse, I guess. But yeah. I honestly don't think that these are intended to be, or this is intended to be the same place. Okay, I think it's, now I'm seeing it, I think I can confirm that in this particular mode the nitro recharges by drifting while the nitro is active, which is the exact opposite as how it works in regular races. Which means that if you fall below 1, you are never using it again on the race, I mean. Well, at least with that, I know how to make these races go by faster. And also it seems that using the double nitro is completely worthless. It's a better idea to use 2 nitros of a single duration than a single nitro of a double duration, right? So that's good information for the next races.
Now let's go to the next race.
Let's go to the next race.
Replay.
I agree.
The race will be held here
At Seaside District.
3,
Correct.
2, 1, go! Great start. Now go for the lead.
I wonder if there's, like, what other modes there might be aside from this one that limits the nitro. If the one that is 4 cars is gonna make a comeback, or if they are gonna have something else, or if they are not gonna have anything, that's a possibility too, you know. Always a possibility.
Someone fired off some nitrous.
Unfortunately, with all that I was saying of how to keep gaining nitro in this mode, yeah, I cannot now.
You got skill. Yo, that's hot.
Permanently fucked up.
Just a little bit more. 2 laps to go. Watch out. Nitrous. Whoa! Someone fired off some nitrous. How did you do that?
Who are you asking? The first place or me?
What's yours?
I guess now I'm the first place. Actually, I forgot. There is a button you can use to check backwards without needing to change the view. Just that at that point you rather use the mirror, because it's this one. The problem is that your whole view changes backwards. So you cannot really tell what's going in front of you. I mean, at that point it's way better to use this. You can see both at the same time. But yeah. It's a weird thing that I guess you can also say that it's a staple of the Ridge Racer series, but I think that a lot of other racing games are also like that. Like, if I'm not mistaken, in Gran Turismo you also have the whole thing with you don't have the mirror unless you use the front view. I might be wrong though.
How did you do that? Yeah.
But I feel like I remember the rear view not having mirror. I mean, I guess it's an incentive to simply, you know, what the heck? It's an incentive to actually make you use that camera view. I don't think it's incentive enough though. I mean, I will use it if I really need to see what's behind me, but I think that using it constantly in most cases is a good idea.
You unlocked a new car.
Okay, we got the Astaroth Melfire. These are all very cheesy names, honestly. This is the same type of car I've been using, right? Just a different color. Okay. The Astaroth thingy. They sold that Astaroth. Right. I will be doing this one. And here you could actually unlock this 42 doing those two routes. This one are normal races at least. So the one we got is this one. At least it's still type standard. I feel like I should use one of the Fatalita. I feel like that I really don't like the way I like the way this one looks, I guess. I guess I could use it. So otherwise you have to deal. Well, I didn't use the Esperanza ones actually. I guess I could use one of them on the next one.
Fatalita.
What I'm definitely not using are the ones with how's it called? With dynamic drift. That's not gonna happen.
3,
No way.
2, 1, go! Wow, awesome start! You jumped right off the starting line. Okay, let's go.
I feel like when it comes to hardware, my next priority has to be
Someone fired off some nitrous.
The monitor. Yes, on stream you probably cannot see it. There's something that's been happening not only to a lot of games, but also to some streams I watch that kind of feels like they are running at fake 60 frames per second. Like, theoretically it is 60 frames per second, but the monitor kind of fails to display it that way. That's what makes me think that perhaps, you know, well, I don't know if it's the monitor deal, maybe it's like the video card in itself. Maybe the video card just goes well with a specific type of monitor, I don't know. But obviously, if the problem is the monitor, it's something that should not be transmitted to the stream. Because the monitor is simply an output device, and what the stream is capturing is what's shown on the video, what's processed on the video card. So the monitor shouldn't have any way to intervene with that. Also, that thing that this car says on the back is a Salamel, isn't that also a Soul Calibur character? I mean, at this point, with the amount of other Namco references, that should not be a surprise whatsoever. hopefully today I can... Actually, I don't think looking at the time that I will be able to pull it off. I wanted to complete all of the races before the next split, but I don't think it's gonna happen because you have these 3 ones that I have here, but then afterwards you also have like 4 or 5 more. I don't think I'm gonna do that in time. There is no way. But yeah, probably shouldn't attempt it. Yeah, I'm surprised here. You can see that this is the event number 31. So if I'm not mistaken, I more or less might have, well, probably around 30 events completed. Because the number of the event is not in order. But judging by the ones I clear, I probably have around 30. And the thing about that is that if it says that I still only have 12%, I don't think it makes much sense when apparently the total amount of events is like 113 or something like that. That's not the 12%, which is what makes me think that after you get to the end there will be like a secret tier of events or something like that. I mean, after all, it wouldn't be a Ridge Racer game if you don't have secret cars. So far, every single Ridge Racer game had them. Without exception. Without exception, every single Ridge Racer game up until now has had secret cars. So this one cannot be the exception. Which essentially means that... Oh, almost went to the wrong side. Essentially means that this one will have them too. Well, 7 also had them, of course. And the PS Vita had them as well. I haven't played the 3DS one, but if it's supposed to be a port of this Nintendo 64 one, it should have them too. Actually, now that I think about it, every time the times on the bottom left show up, I think you can kinda hear like a faint Pac-Man sound, unless that's part of the song. Hold up. No, it's actually a sound effect that shows up there. But yes, I was saying at the beginning of the stream, that time that appears on the bottom left is supposed to show in front of Pac-Man. That's why that sound effect is there. It's not random. It makes sense. I also been wondering, because I've been seeing this a lot. These cars, what they have on the back, like in this case on the E of Sasalamel, right? And what is that supposed to be? Because it looks like the kind of thing that you will use to hold a cup. That cannot be that. I have no clue what's supposed to be. And maybe it's a parachute. I mean, you know that the cars that do drag racing, some of them go so fast that in order to stop in time before crashing against something, they have to deploy a parachute to brake. which is
The race will
pretty
be held here at Highland.
amusing. Wait a second, this is a new track, Highlight Cliff, right?
2, 1, go!
I haven't played this one before
Wow, what a start.
today.
This is what I wanted to see.
It might be based on Ridge Racer.
Let's go.
Might be.
This should
All
be
I
a
know is that
problem.
I haven't played it today. It is the first time I play this one
Someone
today.
fired off some nitrous.
At least it's nice to see to see that a track doesn't repeat now.
Woohoo! Easy win. Nitrous ready. Oh, yeah! Ooh, just a little bit more. You're unstoppable.
No, I don't think it's based on the Ridge Racer track. Like, I think that it's simply a new one. And this one most likely is in Ridge Racer 7 too.
Hey, buddy. Someone's creeping up.
So,
Just a little bit more.
honestly, some parts of these tracks really feel like they are taken from other tracks. And they most likely are, but it's not the exact same layout as those tracks, so
Nitrous ready.
that's the thing that makes me think that it's not the exact same place.
It's the ultimate charge. 2 laps to go.
Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna investigate after the stream if there is a DLC to replace this dumbass announcer, or if all the DLCs are simply music. I guess even if I figure out that there is a DLC, the next thing that I will have to figure out is how to install it. I mean, I don't think it's that hard, but I don't want to fuck with my save either. It would be nice to be able to. But I could do a backup of my save, assuming I also figure out where the save is. If I'm not mistaken, Xenia saves it in documents, in the documents folder of the user.
Oh yeah, nitrous on standby. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps. Woo-hoo! Ultimate charge.
It's also, this one is a very long track, without a doubt. Well, just like the Ridge Racer one.
Oh yeah, it's a new record. Nitrous on standby.
Yeah, I feel like that game, Ridge Racer, even though I don't have many reasons to play it again, since I already beat it in both normal and reverse, I feel like that track, like that last track, the expert track, is quite well done. Even if I got a little bit salty when I was playing it, like it's a pretty well done track. Every time that I see these mountain tracks, I remember that one. Makes me wanna play that.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go.
Maybe with one of the things that I will investigate about the DLC, maybe I will bring some of the tracks too, of the songs I mean. Because yeah, some of these tracks are, again, songs, are
This is the
not
last corner.
very compelling, let me tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did it. First place.
that's
Doesn't it feel
unfortunately a Ridge Racer Classic.
Time for the replay.
No, not time for the replay, time for the reward. So what's the reward here? I mean, it's probably another Class 2 car, most likely. So far, all of these rewards are basically... gameplay-wise, they really make no difference at all, because... I mean, it's simply the same... you can play just well with the ones you already have, so... You know... It's not like this make a big difference, but... I guess it's always nice to have variety, not to mention that I also want to do some completion as always, you know? This one is the one that looks weird on the back, right? Well, it didn't show it on the back, but yeah, probably. But yeah, the remaining ones here will be... Okay, this is only 3. Problem is the other one. The other one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 5 will be, because... Actually, no, it will be 6. Because these two don't go to the same one. Wait, hold up. I'm stupid here. Like... Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, it does go to the same one, which is 42. Okay. So yeah, it will be 3 and then 5. Right? Yeah, let's do this one.
Okay.
Alright. So I could either go for that one I just unlock, or as I say before, go for one of these Esperanza ones. Well, in terms of drift, they both use the mile one. I guess I'm gonna go for this one.
Esperanza.
Like the way it looks.
Get ready to race.
Alright.
I can feel this race is gonna be really hot. Now
So that
start your
reminds me
engine.
that we only got the CVT track once.
2, 1.
Haven't gotten it again ever since that one
Awesome. You got a head start.
fateful encounter. I mean, in part that's a good thing because it's a very long track, but
Let's go.
you know.
Whoa! Someone fired off some nitrous.
So this song that is playing on the background, isn't that like the shingle that sounds in Tower of Droga, or is it another one? 'Cause I feel like when I tried that game, I remember that song playing when it said start. I mean, it's a game that is kind of like Pac-Man, and well, a lot of games at the time that had a
Nitrous on standby.
that had a shingle before it started, and once it started, they had no music. Like early arcade games and also Atari games had a lot of that. It was kind of like the standard at the time. Probably because the games couldn't play that many sounds at the same time. So they had to spare, when the game actually happened, they had to spare the sounds for the gameplay. They couldn't use it for the music at the same time. I mean, you can still kinda see that on the NES, despite being a generation afterwards. A lot of times when a lot of sound effects are playing, that some music effects don't play. I mean, good examples being games like Pokemon. Well, it's not the NES, it's the Game Boy, but it's pretty much the same shit, like 8-bit territory. And then Mega Man also has that. But yeah, a lot of games have that. When a sound effect plays, it replaces an instrument in the song. But yeah, before that, it wasn't a matter of replacing. It was a matter that either the song plays or the sound effects, not both at the same time. And yeah, Tower of Droga, or whatever that name is pronounced, was one of those games. A very, very early game. So it's to be expected that we'll have the intro jingle and then no music and only sound effects.
Awesome! You beat the record! Great!
So the question is if after this route, if I should stop for now or if I should continue. So I could do the remaining route, which is the one on the top, but do I wanna do that now? Not sure. For some reason I'm also hungry. I don't know why. I shouldn't be. I guess that's also another motivation to, you know, to stop the stream. But yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I talk more than I usually do. Since in the case of racing games, I can usually, you know, I can usually talk all I want because I barely need to focus. Since these things are so ingrained in my brain. Well, not to mention that Ridge Racer is already a game that gives you enough things automatically. Like essentially every time you drift, it's an automatic action.
Now let's go to the next race.
So yeah, in that regard,
For the replay.
you can have
The race is about
the freedom of talking about anything and not get distracted. Or rather, you get distracted, but it doesn't matter
best start I've seen in a
because it barely requires focus. That is for now at
Let's
least.
go.
Closer to the final races, we will see if it still keeps being that way.
Uh-oh, someone fired on some nitrous.
This guy's even using nitro, they still
What?
fall behind when I'm not using it. That's pretty sad.
All right.
Theoretically, the race that comes after this one,
Nitrous on standby.
according to the game, will be the hardest one that you could possibly play at this time, without going to the next class. Theoretically, the race that comes after this one is the hardest class 2 race.
Nitrous ready.
I have a hard time believing that. Well, no. It could be the hardest one, it's just that being the hardest one doesn't mean it's hard. That's the difference.
Awesome.
They are two very different concepts.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go.
I know.
You beat the record. Great.
That song for a little bit kinda sounded like Knight's theme like Nights into Dreams, one of the multiple themes. That game is from Sega, so obviously no, it cannot be that. Like Namco's direct competitor at the time. I mean, what a stoner-ass game that was. Nights into Dreams. Or like Night into Fever Dreams. That game certainly feels like one. Yeah, that's definitely one of those games that, as far as I'm kinda tempted to play it again, simply because I like the way the stages look, it's like there is absolutely no reason to do that. There is zero reason to do that. But yeah. Next race, well, last race of the route. Alright. Yeah, as I said before, according to the game, this is probably so far the hardest class 2 race. So let's see how that translates to winning the race, you know. Surely that means that we are gonna encounter some resistance and we are not gonna win the race for free, clearly, right? Surely. Also kinda wanna check if in the options you can use kilometers per hour. Because I'm seeing that it says miles per hour. I think that even if a lot of Ridge Racer games didn't give you the option, I have a feeling that didn't the PSP once give you the option? I can't remember. I should check the options for this one and see if it has that. So I'd rather have it in kilometers per hour. Not like I'm paying attention to it. Like I'm honestly ignoring the speed because for now it serves no purpose. Well, it won't serve any purpose at any point. But and while I check that, I could also check if there is a way to either change or lower the volume of the announcer. We'll do a 2x1 visit to the options menu. I think it will be very productive.
Nitrous red. Oh yeah, now that's what I call a jump. Oh yeah, it's a new record.
I wouldn't mind doing the remaining route, but I feel like 5 more races for today will be way too much. I feel like I should. I mean, if I wasn't hungry, I probably will do them now, but for some absolutely strange reason, I'm hungry right now. Usually at this hour of the day, I'm never hungry. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but apparently I am. Maybe it's also because of the cold. I mean, keep in mind that when it's cold, your body uses energy to avoid freezing. Not literally freezing, but I mean to keep the body temperature at a healthy level. So maybe that's what's making me hungry. It's possible. Yeah, I got first. Alright. So, I don't know what you're gonna give me. It's mostly, well, actually, since this one is on the top, it might be a class 3 car. Also, I just realized something, actually. If you look, well, I guess it's better when you know, when you don't have these messages here. I unlock the high shack, and it's actually class 2. I guess I could use that one for... but this drift type dynamic, god damn it. As much as I would love to use this thing, with dynamic drift it can suck a cog. It is the high shack, even with the original green color and everything. Something that I was about to say, look at that. I don't know why I didn't notice it at first, but obviously, like the last events that show up here not being all the way to the right side of the screen, it's obvious that there's gonna be more events after you reach this right side. So that explains why the percentage is so low, despite what looks like being relatively close to the halfway point, right? Because it's not the halfway point. So if I wanted to do the other shit, it will be these 5 ones. Promise that... Oh, that's the CVT track. Yeah, another problem... Ah, fuck it. Fuck hunger, I'm doing this shit now. I don't give a shit. Hunger can wait. Hey, come on. I wanna do it now. So I will use the high shack, but unfortunately the dynamic drifting can suck a cock. So now I'm using this other one, the Hamel.
Oh yeah, the race is about to start.
Yeah, the race will start. But I'm doing this now because I want to. But obviously, I wouldn't do it if I don't want to. Also, differently from how the Hamel cars usually look in the PSP games, here this one looks very good on the back. Like on the back I remember the Hamel cars looking like absolute shit in the PSP games. Or well, like absolute shit I mean that they look ugly. This one looks cool.
Just a little bit more.
This one actually looks cool. These tracks will also be long. That's another thing to keep in mind. Not just the fact that there are 5 of them, but there are also 5 long races, so... I mean, my hunger can wait, but yeah... You shouldn't try this at home. If you're hungry, you should eat. You know? Hey, don't worry about it. I mean, it's not like I ate badly on the day. It shouldn't be a matter of that.
Nice. Nitrous on standby. Nitrous.
And also theoretically, these races should be harder to win than the previous ones. The only difference is that the second place, instead of being 13 seconds behind, maybe he's gonna be like 5 seconds behind. But yeah, there's not gonna be any struggle, obviously. Hey, at least if I do this, on the next stream I can just focus on Class 3. Well, I will assume that the next group of events is Class 3. I don't have any reason to not think that's the case. At least I do like that, differently from the PSP game, they make all of this completely optional. Because in the PSP game, if you wanted to keep advancing through the main mode, you had to beat every single Grand Prix. I mean, some of them you could skip temporarily, but not forever. So in this game, if you, well, maybe in this game it's also the same. You can skip them at some point, but not forever. I don't know.
Woo! It's a new record. Woo! You're in first place. The others aren't even a challenge. Final lap.
I gotta remember before ending the stream to check the options. Well, since I'm probably gonna manually save just in case, I can definitely check the options. Like for the miles per hour thingy and for the other thing, the announcer. Both things. Don't worry, I will investigate the DLC stuff. So it's weird because when I remember when I checked the DLC list, there were like more than 50 DLCs. And the fact that they are all songs is very weird. You might be thinking that you're playing a rhythm game, but no. It's just Ridge Racer that has that many DLC songs for some reason.
Now let's go to the next race.
You know, for rhythm game you have Taiko, if you want a Namco rhythm game.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, CBT. We are back at CBT.
3.
I think that's
1.
very fittingly. I think this is the longest track in the game. So far, that is. The very appropriate name indeed. Hey, if I'm not mistaken, the first time I did this one was like, what, 2 minutes long each lap? That's definitely the longest it's been so far. Also, not to mention that regardless of how long the track will be in terms of the amount of kilometers you drive, there's also the fact that it has uphills, which essentially make you go slower, obviously, which in turn makes you take longer.
This shouldn't be a problem. Nitrous ready. This shouldn't be a problem.
Well, this one will be less than 2 minutes, which I guess makes sense because first time I drive this was in class 1, right? Probably.
Someone fired off some nitrous. Two laps to go. All right now, someone's using nitrous to catch up.
I Aren't you using a little bit too many nitros? Where are you getting them?
Nitrous on standby.
Getting them from a second-hand dealer or what? It's a little bit suspicious.
You got 2 nitrous ready to go. Pedal to the metal.
So following the first lap time, thinking that the other laps are gonna be the same is a little bit of a mistake. Usually, because of the nitro, every lap after the first one is faster. Well, that and the lack of the slow start at the beginning because of the countdown. So usually the laps that come after the first one tend to be something like 10 seconds faster or so. This one in particular, I mean, was 6 seconds faster.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Not that much faster, but I guess faster enough.
Nitrous ready.
And something interesting that I should remember. I don't need to, like after the stream is done, I don't need to upload the stream anywhere. Like it's essentially on YouTube already. So the only thing I need to do is changing the name. Put something like, you know, as I usually do, blind playthrough part 1 or whatever. So I don't even need to wait for this thing to upload. Like it will already do it automatically. Well, automatically, I mean. Technically it's uploading as we speak, since the stream itself is turning into a video as we speak. You know?
You got 2 nitrous ready to go. Double nitrous. Amazing.
Yeah, that's how it works. Cyber Sled. I really wonder how many of these things are the name of a game
It's the final stretch.
and how many of these are something inside
Go to the next race.
of one of those games.
Time for the replay.
I mean, that Cyber Sled thing, for all I know, could be the name of a game, the same way it could be the name of a character in a game. And I wouldn't know
3,
because it doesn't ring a bell.
1, go! Ooh, awesome!
I mean,
you got a head start.
I do know that Mokushin is a character in Tekken, for example.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
go.
it could be anything. If you are not a Namco #1 fan, you wouldn't catch half of the references, you know.
Yee, watch out, nitrous! Oh yeah, this one's yours. Uh-oh, someone fired off some nitrous. This shouldn't be a problem.
By this song sounds kinda similar to one of the songs in Ridge Racer. Kinda feels like it's a remix of it. Maybe a little bit of a stretch, but kinda feels like it is a remix of a Ridge Racer song. Okay, even this one being shorter than the previous one, it's still a relatively long track. I mean, it makes sense that if you're trying to separate the harder races, that you're gonna put the longest tracks on the top route, I mean. To me, it really still feels weird to me to think that I'm playing this game. A Ridge Racer sits in general is something that always felt so far, considering that, as I say before, I never own an Xbox 360 or any Xbox console. The fact that it's an exclusive, the only way you can play it is emulating it. The fact that I'm finally able to emulate it, well, both the fact that the technology is here to do this, and also that my computer is good enough to run it, is kinda hard to believe. And I pretty much accepted for quite a long time that Ridge Racer 6 is a game that I'm pretty much never gonna be able to play, but no. That's not the case. That's pretty cool when that happens. Well, a little sound effect on the song. Feels like it's playing inside my brain. The rest of the song is whatever, but that one sound effect really feels like someone implanted a chip on my brain and it's playing from there. It sounds cool. If it gives you that effect.
Okay, next race.
Alright.
Here we go. Replay.
There's only 2 more races remaining before I can go eat.
Alright, dude. We got ourselves a heated race at Surfside Resort. You ready? Let's get it on.
Alright, dude. Well, thankfully this is a short track.
2, 1.
Nothing to fear.
Great start. Now go for the lead. Ooh, just a little bit more. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Someone's using nitrous to catch up. Hey buddy, he's got you in his sight. Yes.
Come on, stop it saturating, dude.
Whoa! Someone
It's
fired
like
off
every
some
time
nitrous.
that a car is near me, it's gonna start to freak out. I mean, considering that every time I have to overtake 13 cars, it's bound to have a lot of this near me.
Nitrous.
Cannot avoid it, you know?
2 laps to go. Oh yeah! You're cruising on ultimate charge. Nitrous on standby. You're unstoppable.
Surprisingly, overtook this guy
This one's yours.
on the middle of the second lap. Tends to happen earlier, but I guess it makes sense since it's a shorter track. I also wish that the button that you use to look backwards, that instead of just doing that, I wish it show your car from the front, but it only shows what's behind your car. There's a lot of cameras that change like that tend to also show the front, you know.
This is the last corner.
The last corner.
Okay, next race.
Yeah, next and last race as
Here we
well
go.
for
Replay.
today. Hopefully it's another short one.
Are you nervous? I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
this
Come
one
on, hurry up.
should be a short one, yeah. I mean, relatively short. No, it is short. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's as short as the previous one. Isn't this also 1 minute per lap?
Right off the starting line. This shouldn't be a problem. Easy win. Ooh, nice. This shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, nitrous ready. Oh yeah, you're unstoppable. Oh yeah, you're cruising on ultimate charge. 2 laps to go. Oh yeah, nitrous
Oh, it's
on
actually
standby.
even
Watch out, nitrous.
faster than a minute. It's an even shorter track than the previous one.
Nice. Yeah, you're cruising on ultimate charge. Oh man, you got some insane cornering skills. Nice. Hey, it's the ultimate charge.
Yeah, okay,
You beat the record. Ah, great.
we got this.
Wow, how did you do that?
It is one of the first, or maybe the first Ridge Racer game where going to the grass actually slows you down.
Here comes the final
I mean, in most other Ridge Racer games you cannot even go to the grass. Like, it counts as a crash before you get there.
Yeah.
So, might be the first
Here we
one
go.
that does that.
Replay.
I don't remember any other one doing that. Alright. So, we got all of the class 2 ones, I wanna believe. Means that we will start with class 3 tomorrow. Yeah, give me that. Basically, half of the current map has, well, not quite half, but almost half.
You unlock
Kinda half. So there seems like there is a hole in the middle. Did I forget something, or is there simply no reward in the middle? Because it didn't show us orange, right? Maybe, well, we will see. Well, it's the same car that I just used, the one I unlocked there. Yeah, see here in the middle. Well, I guess, yeah, there is no reward here. Or maybe it counts these two that are here as part of that zone. And simply to see what I'm gonna be up against, This is already class 3, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah, this is already class 3. Damn, that looks very good. Holy shit. And you don't even need to unlock this one. It's unlocked by default, damn. Probably mogs most of the ones you unlock later. I wanna check. Oh, you can actually change the 4 kilometers per hour. Well, shame on me for not noticing that. I wonder what the question mark is. In terms of audio, you can... Well, it says DJ. Wait, do you call the announcer a DJ? That's weird. Because, I mean, the music is BGM and SA is sound effect. Oh, hold up. So you can unlock an extra announcer, but you cannot do it yet. Alright, well, what's important is that we did the kilometers per hour thing. You also... Oh, well, if you want to save, it will automatically save here. You can also manually save in case you want to for some reason. You know? I mean, there is your... Damn, that's a lot of free space according to this. Why not? Might as well. I mean, it's whatever. It's the same thing either way. But yeah, that will be it for me for today. So thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream with more well, of this game. So have a good one and take care.